everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights 2 Mask of the Betrayer. Last episode, we ended up fighting Oku here, but spared him and he's now joined our side. At the same time, we also learned we are currently horribly cursed and are slowly going to die. Oh, this is going to be so fun. Let's head back into town and see what happens now that this has happened. I have a feeling people are going to want to speak with us about this. Oh look, we're already starting Act 2. Oku is a powerful Fey creature who favors the fighter class. While he can't use weapons or armor, his claws and hide will become stronger as he gains levels. Oku is also capable of wearing amulets and rings. Oku automatically levels up when he gains enough experience, not so much learning new abilities as he is remembering long-forgotten ones. Okay. Well, let's move on. There's a whole bunch of merchants over there, but yes, we need to go north and speak with someone. Resting is going to be a bit of a pain now. Yes, let us go north and speak up there. I believe that's what we have. Turn to Shiva Whitefeather. Yes. Indeed. And we'll probably have other things to do as well. Abomination! I warned you, Shiva. I smelled the wrongness upon him at the theater. Tell me the truth, foreigner. Did you know what you were when you came to our city? I felt a hunger when I awoke in the barrow, but I didn't know what it was. In the Bear God's barrow. That was the first you felt of this hunger. Then you should have taken a stone and crushed your skull at once. Do not make excuses for this monster out of ancient tales, Shiva. I swore an oath to another with this affliction, one who spared me his hunger and sought my help in ending the curse of the Spirit Eater. And what more do you remember, God of Bears? His face? His name? Your memories have fled like birds before a storm. Do not insult my ally, witch. He is a god of your land, the spirit you claim to serve. I remember the prayers of the dockside girl before she donned her mask. I remember how she begged the spirits to make her pretty, so that the sailors might whistle at her, might even pay her for her company. Lies! Shiva, these are lies! The monster has tainted Lord Oku's Enough, Kazumika. Lord Oku, we meant no offense, and it is not our place to question the mind of a god. At least tell me what a Spirit Eater is. We know little of them. No Spirit Eater has walked Rashomon in living memory. They were monsters, devourers of spirits and souls, boogeymen in children's tales. Some were men, some women, some were even children. Wherever they walked, they hungered and fed, and the land died. No matter their intentions, all Spirit Eaters ended the same. Their hunger turned in upon themselves, and they were destroyed. Utterly consumed. The hunger within me, can it be controlled? Perhaps. If children's stories are to be believed, your hunger can be directed. But it will grow if indulged, and it will finally overwhelm you. And if you resist it, the hunger will destroy you anyway. You will starve, and your own hunger will turn upon you, consuming you from within. How did I become a Spirit Eater? Was it something that happened in the barrow? Perhaps you can answer that question best, monster. Did you anger our gods? Defile our land? Few punishments are truly undeserved. Hush! Kazumika. Some say that the curse passed from one Spirit Eater to the next, but no Spirit Eater has been seen in over 100 years. Beyond that, we know little. Those who kept such secrets are many years dead. I don't intend to devour anyone else, willingly or not. Is there some kind of cure? If there is any hope to be found, it would be amongst those who have fought your kind. Amongst spirits, not mortals. My sister speaks of the Woodman, the living soul of the Ashenwood. He fought your kind, and he brought them all low. If the Woodman fought Spirit Eaters, why would he agree to help me? He may not, child, for all your good intent. The Ashenwood lies several days sailing upriver to the north, and the winter snows have already begun to fall. I will send word to our shipwright Vazil that he should make a boat available for trade. Look for him at the docks, and tell him that I sent you. We have an outpost on the Ashenwood shore led by a witch named Dalenka. She is a hard-bitten woman, and distrustful of foreigners. Why are you doing this for me? A good question, Shiva. Do tell us, won't you? I am sorry, Kazumika. Sorry that anyone should suffer this curse, foreigner or not. For the mercy you showed to the bear god, child, I will barter whatever wisdom I can lend you, for as long as you remain in control of your hunger. What about the dwarf woman, Magda? You promised I could speak to her once I'd made my peace with Hoku. I have already released Magda, and she has returned to her theater. My sisters disagree with me in this, but I trust in your good intent. Find the Woodman, Travis. Learn the secrets of your kind, and you may escape their fate. As you wish. And hey, we leveled up. Let's take care of that now. We are going for fighter, as it I can be a swashbuckler? Really? But no, I have no desire for that. I am a fighter. Point in diplomacy, point in intimidate, point in lore. I suppose that's how it shall be. And what are we going with? Well, there isn't really anything here. None of the basic ones. Let's see. I can get armor skin, epic prowess, and epic toughness. Epic prowess is actually fairly good. Epic toughness gives... not really. Armor skin might also be handy. What do you recommend? Epic prowess? Something I want to check. I don't remember... Hold on, let me see. One of the books I have here. Let's see. Yes, I actually have physical manuals. I still have it. Let's see, where is it? Feats. Let's see. Whirlwind attack. Dodge, mobility, spring attack. Dexterity 13, intelligence 13. I think the dex is what I'm missing. Dodge, mobility, and spring attack, which I think I kind of have all those. So I gotta wait until level up to get more dexterity. Otherwise, it's not going to really work. Something to keep in mind, though. Because I want that whirlwind attack. It is fairly useful. These other ones, not necessarily as useful. I guess I'll grab epic prowess. It's something. Oh! And another feat here I can get. Cross-class skill sounds only a... Okay, we're fine on there. Oh! Great dexterity. Hold on a second. What is... My dexterity is 12 and my int is 12. Ah! Both of those need to go up one. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Alright, let's get back to this. That. Recommend epic prowess. What do you recommend then? Armor skin? Epic will, I think I'd actually like. Because of the bonus to will. But you know what? If I get great dexterity now, and and I improve my intelligence later, I'll be able to improve things further. And I'll be able to get it. I feel like it's a bit too late. Like I'm getting it late. You know what? Grab Epic Will. There. That's a bonus. Yeah, what level am I? 19, 20, 21, 23. Yeah, it's way late. And already, look at that. Spirit energy is already at 96, which is not that pleasant. Anyway, with the task completed there, let's head back and see if we can speak with Magda. At least we'll learn something there. So now we'll learn about Liena and something there. There are other things that we can learn of, though. Do we have anything we can sell? No, we don't, actually. Good to know. Ah, there we are. Well, let's speak with Magda. Pipe down, you rogues, and give some thanks to the man who saved our lives. Alas, our thanks are all we have to give, for a cruel-hearted dwarf hoards our meager profits. Aye, and squanders our earnings on love potions to steal the heart of sweet Wallace. Honestly, my lord, it's like chasing a pack of dockside waifs with a broomstick. And that's when we're not trying to put on a play. I'm glad you're safe. Were the witches holding you as prisoners? Only if sleep is a cage and the dreamer a captive. An enchanted sleep, with dreams of witches asking questions about our poor Liena. They found naught besides grief. Liena was our white lady of the Vale, and not so easily forgotten. There's not one of us who didn't love that woman, but she'd been acting strange, it's true. And the blood, Magda, those ghastly droplets of red upon her white robe. I'd nearly forgotten the blood. Blood? Did you inform the witches about this? Aye, we told them. They just nodded their heads as witches do. Not much of any consequence going on beneath those masks, if you ask me. No more than a few days before you saved our hides, my lord, Liena comes bursting from that shadow door of hers, all covered in blood. Covered in blood, aye, and not a drop of it hers. And before that I saw the other woman hanging about, the red-robed lady, bald as a squalling babe. The both of them were up to some sort of mischief. That's all the Red Lady was good for, if you ask me. Probably behind the doors of that secret room. I saw Liena's operating table. I think that may have been my blood on her robes. Your blood? And cutting you, mayhap? Magda, what if we've been harboring some mad vivisectionist? Pfft, Liena was no monster, Lothario, and you know it well. Sheltering the likes of us for 20 years and never an unkind word. A bit odd at times, but never a monster. A red-robed lady. What else do you know about her? Only what my eyes have seen. Her face was like Liena's, so much that I thought them sisters, and her head was all covered in runes. I wondered if she was from my academy. This might explain how Liena was known to my mother. I saw her but twice. No, make it thrice. The first time was years ago. I awoke to voices in Liena's bedroom, so I peered inside, thinking it might be robbers again. But instead, who do I see but a red-robed lady chatting away with Liena, and certain they knew I was watching. Scared me silly, you understand. Red robes mean naught but trouble, but Liena trusted her, so I let the matter pass. I saw her a second time, perhaps a year ago, before the two of them disappeared for a long while. And the third time? That was just before the wizards came. I saw the Red Lady near the portal, when Liena came bursting out of her room, all covered in blood. This secret room, how would I get inside? All you'd need is the key, and I have it right here. When the wizards came, Liena pressed it into my hand and told me to keep it safe. I'd half a mind to swallow the key and make those wizards go picking through my innards for it. Here's the key, but I'll not vouch for your safety. If you're bent on going inside, I've never so much as peeked beneath the door. Where is the secret room? You'll have to pass through the shadow door into the reflection of Leanna's bedroom. On the east side of the room, there's a door, and she's always kept it locked. That's the secret room, the one she wouldn't show me. I have a few other questions before I go. And our Magda has answers, no doubt. Our fair little maiden can't stop talking about you, she can't. Hush, you rogue. Ignore them, my lord, and perhaps they'll go away. I've been trying for a decade. When I saved you from the Thayans, did Leanna really know I'd be coming? So she said. A man will be coming, looking for me. You're not to turn him away, Magda, even if he's angry, even if you fear for my life. But I couldn't tell you how she knew, my lord. Our white lady was generous with everything, except for secrets. Can you tell me anything else about Leanna? I could tell you how her eyes looked old, how she never quite remembered to brush her hair, and how stories of doomed love would never fail to bring her to tears. Leanna had a hardness in her, it's true, a metal that wasn't born of Rashomon or any decent land. She'd suffered in her time, but this theater softened her as years went by. And what about the Red Lady who would visit her? As for that one, she can drown herself in the river, or in her own blood as she pleases. You'd have to pardon us, sweet Magda. She is but a tiny lass, and her heart is very small. There's no room inside for good manners. The Red Lady drove Leanna to her death, and brought those wizards upon us. You can trust in that. What kind of plays do you perform here? We try to do the finer plays. Cormyrean dramas, or the comedies of Bezenmoot, but the merchants prefer Red Wizard follies. Sometimes our Vesper will write us something original. And he's promised sweet Magda a starring role in his next romantic comedy. The thought of me in a love scene! Imagine! Do you sell any hats or masks? We've no shortage of such things, though most of it's rubbish. Stuffed under mattresses, piled in trunks. Here, have a look and pardon the dust. Of course. Let me just store that in there. A bunch of tunics and the like, just appearances. Boots of reflexes, cloak of elvenkind, Finch's finest hat. Ooh. +2 to charisma and dexterity, and plus to bluff, diplomacy, perform, and sleight of hand. The diplomacy bonus I like, even better than this. Actually, this isn't that. Horsehair helmet. Oh, that's just a helmet. Don't care about that. Noble's cap. Does that do anything? Charisma bonus. Nymph cloak is fairly good. Thavian circlet. Ooh. Intelligence. But okay. Tragedian. Okay, I gotta read this one. A master maskcrafter once joined a traveling group of actors, but much to his dismay, he and his cohorts found the road quite unsafe, and more than once were forced to fight off bandits. Unwilling to be bullied, the maskcrafter poured all of his skill and cunning into a pair of masks, elegant masterworks as well as useful weapons. And indeed, one night the company was called upon to use them when a local warlord captured the troupe, and called them to perform for his liking. The company's male lead wore the mask the crafter called the Tragedian, and used its power to lull the warlord and his men into a daze with his oratory, then unleashed on them a crippling sadness. When the female lead had used the powers of the comedian mask, the company attacked. Later, the actors fled into the night, carrying with them the spoils of the warlord's stronghold as their payment, and a battered and bruised audience wondering if they'd just seen the worst play of their lives or the best. Diplomacy, intimidate, taunt, and crushing despair. That's pretty good. Good stats there. Ring of Wizardry. Lesser Magic Bag. Okay. Something to keep in mind. Chime of Opening. Knock. Okay. Some interesting things there. I wonder if these guys say anything. Probably not. Ah, it's you. Your assistance with those red wizards is appreciated, I'm sure. Oh, indeed. Now, let's see. I believe it's back here. We need to see what's in that other side. Enter the portal. Must be this way. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Smell that. There is blood on the floor. The trail leads to one of the portals. So that's so. And there's a few things in the back here. Greater Planner Binding. A couple chests. The Wisdom of Imlith Yabog. Kaji, do you mind unlocking these chests? Or at least untrapping them? Thank you.
Yes.
Now what are these? Okay, Greater Planner Binding, that's going to you. But what's the Wisdom of Imith Yabog? This book contains collected sayings and stories of a revered Rashemi witch, who seems to have died over a century ago. Most of these writings are religious in nature, some are folk tales, and a few seem to be remedies for various rashes and warts. One page has been dog-eared, however, and a brief passage is entitled, Of the Ravenous Four. So spoke Imith Yabog. In my youth, the Spirit-Eater curse was said to be rampant in the woodlands of the north. I was sent from Erling with 3 of my Hathran sisters to seek the truth of these rumors. Outside the great forest, we came upon a fleeing mass of simple folk who spoke fearfully of a foul cult, men and women who had begun to worship the Spirit-Eater as a god, who passed its power amongst themselves and went into the deep forest to feed. Retracing the villagers' steps, we soon came upon the encampment of these wicked folk, taking them by surprise and slaying many. Only 4 managed to escape us, fleeing into the deep forest. One of these bore the dark hunger of a Spirit-Eater, and she devoured 2 of my sisters before she made her escape. My remaining sister and I dared not follow. But we learned much from the remains of their camp. These folk were unlike others afflicted by the curse. Indeed, they referred to their dark hunger as the gift. We discovered that many of those we had taken for Rashemi were shape-shifted Uthraki. The Uthraki worshipped the one who possessed the gift, and had learned much lore of the Spirit-Eater to pass on to others who bore their hunger and reveled in it as they did. Got Grey Robe of the Arch-Magi and Remembrance. Which, that might be useful for you. What are you using? Plus 3 quarter staff. So if I hand this to you, that actually doesn't really help at all. But it is still better. And the spell actually doesn't help. Alright, we can save that.
Yes.
Alright, I'm going to save before I speak with this Keeper of Doors. Alright, let's see what this is. This golem has broad, distorted features sculpted from clay. It stands silent, making neither sound nor movement. Sophia, can you offer any insight on this creature? The animating spirit in this creature is all but depleted. You could probably use your unique abilities to breathe life into it. Otherwise, you could reach in and extract the golem's spirit core. If you replenish the core and replace it, the golem should operate like new. Can you speak? The golem gives no indication that it has heard you. It continues to stand perfectly still, its eyes blank and apparently sightless. Reach out your hand and touch the golem. As your fingers brush the clay, you find it to be dry, crumbling at your touch, as if this creature is very, very old. The presence inside you shifts faintly, and you sense that a spirit still resides inside the golem, but the spirit is feeble, depleted. You feel that you may be able to channel some of your spirit back into the golem, enough to bring it back to life for a short time. But such an effort would leave you somewhat weaker and more vulnerable to the hunger inside you. Attempt to channel your spirit into the golem. You concentrate on the presence within you, nudge it ever so slightly, willing a connection between yourself and the golem. The creature's life force is so weak that it arouses none of your hunger, and you are able to subtly reverse the flow of spirit, channeling a small portion of your own spirit into the golem. And the creature stirs. Little avalanches of dried clay crumble from its ancient body, falling into piles at its feet. The golem's voice rumbles from somewhere deep within its chest, but its mouth does not move. Visitors are waiting at the first door. Visitors? Who are they? They are the couriers. They have been waiting for some time. Couriers? What couriers? The couriers who brought you here from across the world. They brought me to this place? Was I conscious? No, your voice made no words, only mutterings and moans. What kind of creatures are they? Unknown. They are voices, hissing, whining, flattering. This golem can only see the portals that it's assigned to maintain. It was made to be blind to all other distractions. Its hearing, however, was left intact so it can receive spoken orders. All creatures are voices, commands to be obeyed or ignored, nothing more. Let me ask something else. Who are you, golem? What is your purpose? I am the keeper of doors. I maintain the seals and wards, and I open them upon command. Where do these doors lead? The first door, incoming visitors. The second door, containment. The third door, disposal. The fourth door, outgoing. So the second door leads to a storage room or a prison? That door leads to no place. Separate and silent. Is there anything inside? Yes, I am uncertain of its nature. Clanking, squeaking, sounds of metal on metal, but voiceless. What will happen if I open the third door? Incineration of all objects in the doorway. That door is a conduit to fire. Judging from the energies it's emitting, that's a link to the elemental plane of fire. It's a rather impressive act of magical prowess to open and maintain such a link. It has been some time since the third door has opened. Stability of the conduit is uncertain. Where does the fourth door lead? The fourth door is malleable. It leads to many places, but only to those places which it knows. I'd like to open one of the doors. State your command. What door shall I open? The first door, incoming. The seals are withdrawn. The way is open. Here we are.
Sst! You! We're trapped, my brothers! Snared! Please, we did as we were told. We thought you were dead!
You are the creatures that carried me here from the Vale of Merdelain.
Forgive us, good master. We were poor slaves, shackled and bound to our white lady's will. We crept across the world, tracked the scent of your blade, watched you from the shadows. In your keep, through your war, and in the umbral dark of Merdelain, our eyes were never far.
Why didn't you announce yourselves? If you had business with me, why not say something?
Our white lady told us to wait, to bide our time until... Oh, we are sorry, good master. When the rocks smashed your bones, we saved you from death. Had we not borne you away to Liana and her red twin, you would have ended like your comrades. His minions, more like. They followed him blindly to their deaths like chattel, like willing slaves. I do not pity them.
Then my companions are dead?
Yes, dead. By now they must be. No, only 2 were dead, perhaps 3. The dwarf was alive, don't you remember, my brothers? He chased us and cursed us, but we were 3 and he was 1.
I'm pretty sure Kelgar would consider that an even fight.
Yes, I distracted the dwarf, and he gave chase. While your body was unguarded, my brother swooped down and bore you away.
So Kelgar lives?
Shh, when last we saw him, yes.
Did you see any of my other companions?
Yes, the fearsome one. He followed us into the Shadow Realm and tried to pursue. And was caught by the Red Lady. Don't forget her strength, my brothers. If our pursuer is not dead, then his face has surely changed.
The dead, who were they?
One in robes, a shaper of arcane magic with echoes of power draining from the corpse, but smashed beyond recognition. A smear of blood and bone and tattered rags. And 2 others, good master, but we could not see if they were slain by the falling rock or by your hand in the Sanctum of Shadow. Those are the only corpses we saw. Perhaps there were others, alive or dead, hidden beneath those piled stones. Our eyes sought only you.
And when you brought me here, what happened then?
Leanna took the silver blade from your hand, and the silver shard from your chest, and she told us to bring you to the barrow, to lay you in that chamber. We dared not tarry in the Cavern of Runes, good master. We feared what lay within, feared it even more than our White Lady and her Red Twin together.
The Cavern of Runes, the place where I awoke. What was inside?
Ancient, empty, hungering. We know not what it was. It reached out for us, but it did not want us. It wanted you. The two ladies must have known that we would be untouched. They chose their careers well. Our nature was well known to them, wasn't it, brothers?
Your nature? You look like gargoyles to me.
We were not always such, good master. We went to the Red Lady in good faith, long ago. In those days, we wore red robes too. Faces we had, and freedom too. Those she took to save our lives, to keep us from the horrors sent to hunt us down. A bargain struck, life and new faces, for servitude.
An unfortunate bargain. Why were you being hunted?
For the crime of choosing the wrong teacher, for choosing the wrong side in a war we never realized was being fought. Never realized, good master, not until the war was already lost. Silence, brother. Our tale is not for trade. Besides, this one wants to know our mistress's plans for him, but we were never privy to their schemes. But we know when those schemes took root, don't we, brothers? We know who planted the seeds in their minds, and we will tell you, if you let us leave in peace.
I'm not making any bargains. How do I know you won't lie to me?
True, we owe him, brothers, for carrying him from his land, and for leaving him in the Cavern of Runes. It was the 9 hags, the slumbering coven. Leanna visited them, together with her Red Twin. They heard the hags' counsel, and they returned with plans.
The slumbering coven? That circle of hags is involved?
Yes, the coven! They lair to the east, along the shores of Lake Mulsantir, in the depths of a city half submerged beneath the waters.
A city beneath the waves. Curious. I have dreamed of such a place. I should like to accompany you to the city, Travis, if you will have me.
This lank-haired shaman is a hag spawn, yes? There are many of his kind in the sunken city, but few as pretty as him.
What exactly did the coven tell your mistresses?
We don't know, good master. Now let us go like you swore. No. After a century as her slaves, Leanna owes us. We want to tear her things and break her shiny masts. Yes! And give us Leanna's corpse! Let us ransom her body to our Red Twin, my brothers, for an end to our servitude!
Leanna destroyed herself. Her body is nothing but ash.
No! We need her corpse! The Red Lady loved her dear Leanna. She'll bargain with us and set us free. Stop whining, little brother. He speaks the truth. Our White Lady is a smear of ash, and we shall always be thralls. There's a lie amidst the truth, brothers. I think this one burned her. Let us have our satisfaction on his corpse instead. We have naught to lose.
All right, great. Of course. Now you want to fight us. Kill them, please. They're not very effective fighters, are they? Still, we learned from them. Very important things. Very apt of wisdom, ring of protection, and some rubies. Well, I think we can give those 2 things to you, Oku. Ring of protection is certainly handy. It helps.
Fall in.
So, that's interesting. I think I'm going to have to end this episode here, because it has gone on long enough. I think next episode, we're going to take a look at these other doors, and then take a look at one other place I want to look at. But that'll be in the next episode, so until then, I'm Cheswick44, that is Travis Ignum, Oku, Sophia, and Gan, and Kaji. This has been a Let's Play of Neverwinter Nights, Mask of the Betrayer, and I shall see you all